throw us a Rumble rant or a super chat or just a good old fashioned, drop a chat if you want to chat with us or have any questions.
But we like it better when there's money attached.
We appreciate the money being attached to it. That's for sure, because it helps us keep the pretty lights on. And so you can do that. You can also reach us through our website and all of our social medias. It's just us tonight, no guests. And Happy New Year. Happy Hanukkah. We ended Hanukkah today, was the last day. It was a very exciting end to the holiday season. I'm glad it's over. It was really intense 6 weeks or so. So yeah, that's what's up guys. Hi. Happy New Year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like such a Scrooge this time of year because I don't take any time off because it's busy at work for me and whatever. So I'm always like, see these people that are off on vacation and
Slash
my
unemployed.
sister, she works in a school and she's been off for 2 weeks. And her kids are off for 2 weeks. And my other sister's a firefighter, so she's off, 2 days out of 3. And
Yes, my kids have definitely stayed in their pajamas a lot this last couple of weeks when we weren't like partying. Like it was like nonstop, like people, and then 2 days off, and then like nonstop stuff, and then like 2 days off. So it's like back and forth. Anyway, they haven't gone to bed before 10 o'clock in a while.
Ooh, getting them back in the routine next week's gonna be rough.
We're working on it. Actually, they went
back
to bed
Monday.
They go back Tuesday.
Okay.
But we did last night they went to bed. Yeah, it was about 9 o'clock. So we're like easy. And then we woke my oldest one up this morning at 10. She was still sleeping at 10. We woke her up.
My kind of gal.
She was not happy. Not happy. You said we wouldn't have to get woken up all of Christmas break. And I was like, yes, at like 8, not at 10. Like, you need to go to sleep tonight. Like,
I didn't get up till 10:30 yesterday, so
Listen,
I struggled to go to bed last night.
Right, that's the problem. And I'm like, we got to start like adjusting you
yeah.
so that when you have to go back to school, you're not like, Anyway, so it's been fun. How about you, Jess? What'd you do? How was your New Year's?
Very good. It was very quiet. We didn't do much. I have a new puppy at home.
I was gonna say you got a puppy.
Yes, I have a new puppy at home. I got him
Congratulations.
on Thanksgiving Day. His name is Oliver, and he is like the love of my life.
Sorry, Stu.
I love this dog. I mean, he follows me around. Like, he's totally imprinted on me. It's amazing.
Wait, did you get him at 8 weeks?
No, I got him. He's 5 months old right now.
Oh, okay.
So we got him when he was 4 months old.
Oh.
So we've had him about 4 weeks. He's a lot of fun, and he's just mild-mannered. He's just has a great personality. He is
terrible twos. Those toddler years in a puppy.
Yeah. So right now he's a joy, and he takes up most of my time. So I am just, where's the puppy? Where's the puppy? Let's go take a nap. Let's lay down. Let's watch TV. Let's play. Let's go outside. He loves just to kind of sit outside on the deck and just kind of lay out there. And so
He's a Florida sun baby.
Yep.
Oh, that's how Buster was too.
Yeah.
He always used to go lay in the grass in the backyard.
Yeah,
flop on his side in the sun.
So that's been a lot of
nice.
fun. So that's been the highlight of my Christmas and New Year's. So other than that, we didn't do much. I made an amazing prime rib on Christmas.
I helped my mom.
I've never made a prime
first time
rib.
ever that we did prime rib for Christmas Day, and she did like a salt crusted one.
I've seen that.
Yeah, and she was like too nervous to do it like the night before and like leave it in the fridge because some of my friends are like, no, you gotta do it the night before, leave it in the fridge. It makes it so great. She's like, no, I'm too nervous, So we did it the morning of Christmas, and she's like, Abby, can you help me lift this into the oven? Because it was a 10-pound roast, you know? But I made like a creamy horseradish sauce,
Yum.
and like a compound butter. So my family
I'm
had
hungry.
options. And it turned out really good, and I made a really, really good cream spinach to go with it. So
yummy.
we had quite the feast. It was good.
That's awesome. Yeah.
And then the leftover prime rib I put on toast with some gorgonzola cheese and toasted that in the broiler. So that
sounds really good.
So that was really good too. So
Yum. I have a ton of leftovers in my fridge now because we had our Hanukkah party for our synagogue yesterday, and so I had this bright idea. Me and my compadre who does all of the holiday parties with me. We wanted to do like a latke. So latke is like the potato pancakes, like a latke bar with like different meats to go on top, and then like the toppings, like shredded cheese.
Wait a minute, meats?
Yeah.
I thought you do sour cream with latkes.
You do, but I'm just saying,
Sour
like,
cream or
okay.
applesauce.
you could,
normally.
so traditionally you eat
okay.
sour cream and applesauce,
but I'm
like,
saying that, like, do you guys keep kosher?
no, we mix
Oh,
milk
okay.
and meat. We just
Okay.
don't eat pork or shellfish.
Gotcha.
So, but we do allow, but some people in our synagogue don't, and so that's why we had them like, so they just won't, they don't have to have it, like, they'll choose if they want to have the dairy portion or the meat portion. So we kind of gave people the options. Like, if you wanted to do the traditional, you could do traditional. If you want to have meat, you can have meat, like, whatever. So we ended up with, like, a lot of meat left over and a lot of latkes left over, and so they all ended up in my fridge.
Do they keep well, the latkes?
I mean, they'll keep for a few days. So we
Are they as good as not?
yeah, you just throw them in the air fryer and
okay.
fry it up.
I just want to
They're
give a
so
shout out
good.
to Ro at Salvo. Like, I really miss the sufganiyot.
Sufganiyot, yes.
Oh,
they
Those
yes.
were really
so
tasty last year
good.
when he was our guest on the show.
They were good. We did a donut decorating game for the kids, so we had a lot of fun with that. It was fun. We had a stressful vendor, but it was the first time I've done a lot of holiday parties, and we have some great vendors that do like our bounce houses and like all that kind of stuff. We used a new one this year.
For the bounce houses?
Yeah, because we wanted to do a game theme for the party. So we had like the inflatable games, so like inflatable baseball and inflatable basketball, and like we had this like bungee cord run thing and ski. We were gonna do skee ball, and so like do all these like games and like had this whole like tournament planned and all this stuff. So our normal vendor doesn't have those games.
Yeah.
And so we switched to vendors, and it was hot mess express. Hot mess express. It felt so bad, and I was like, this is I wanted to call my old vendor and be like, I'm sorry, I will never use someone else again, because we've had such a good experience. So anyway, it was an intense day yesterday, and I'm glad
that it's
over. It was fun. We had a blast. It was beautiful. Beautiful holiday season. It was a lot, especially like on my husband because of my shoulder.
Yeah.
So he had to pick up a lot. He has to still pick up a lot of slack and take on. And I'm not someone who just like sits there and watches other people like work.
No.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm like, because I kept like hovering around him while he was like doing some of the things I'd asked him to do. And he's like, I'm doing it. I got it. I'm like, I know that. I'm not. I just feel weird not doing it. So I feel like I need to be here and be. He's like, no, go away.
Go away.
He's like, go do your PT.
love you. Go away now.
Yeah, it's almost exactly what he said. He's like, go do something productive. And I was like what? He's like, go work on your shoulder. And I was like, fine. So he made me do like my PT and stuff. And I was like, fine. So I kept like hovering. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't let go of control well either.
No, it's really, really hard. That has been my biggest lesson is letting go of control and it's very humbling when
the Lord was teaching you humility these last few weeks.
It has been very, very big lesson in humility. Like I have to like have my kids like do my hair and like, you know, stuff that I'm just like.
I feel like your daughters probably love that. Though.
They do.
Like,
they
let
do.
me do your hair.
Yeah, they do love it. It's funny because my middle one now has kind of become a little bit risk averse. So when anyone's doing anything mildly dangerous, she's like, "That's dangerous. Someone's gonna get hurt." And I was like, "Oh, okay, no, it'll be fine. Everyone's fine. Like it's good." She's like, "No, no one else can get hurt in the house." She hasn't said that, but it's like her attitude with like things. Like, no, don't do that. And so it's been.
So she sees the natural consequences of you getting hurt, and so she's like,
"Oh, no one do anything risky." I'm like, "It's okay to take risks."
Yeah. Now it's gonna be like, Mom, you have your seatbelt on,
yeah,
Mom,
right.
because it's like now they're like,
I have to take care of my mother. It's almost what it's like, Mom, do you need help? Mom, do you need help with anything? Mom, do you need help? Mom,
oh, that's sweet.
yeah, then my kids have been great. So anyway,
that's
that's my
awesome.
whole long soliloquy on my last couple of weeks.
So you think that the last couple of weeks being the holiday season would have been a slow time for politics.
No.
But it has not stopped.
No.
There is
it's
so much to
nonstop.
talk about.
I know. Let's get
Yeah,
into
let's
it.
get
Let's
into
talk about Broward.
All right. Let's go.
Talk about Broward gaining a Republican seat.
That's right. That's right. Could you fill us in, Abby?
So we know that my rep, Chip LaMarca, was the lone Republican at the state level in Broward County for I'm trying to think
for a while.
It's been a while. It's been, definitely since I became involved. So the House district just to the south of him, along the eastern part of the county, and it goes a little west, has been the rep there, Hillary Cassell, has been in office. I think she first got elected in 22. I think that was her
Think
first
about what year
term.
we're in now.
Yeah, she got elected.
2025.
She was a Democrat. She got elected in 22. She ran unopposed in 24, so she didn't have a race. And then right before New Year's,
Right before New Year's.
last Friday.
So it was right
last
before
Friday,
New Year's.
yeah. Last Friday, she put out a statement that she was switching parties to the Republican Party. So like
Find
that,
that interesting.
Broward Republicans doubled the number of seats they had. Now,
what was her statement?
I think her main, like from what I gathered, well, I'll pull the statement up, but I think the main thing that caused her to switch was anti-Semitism in the Democrat Party because she is Jewish. And, you know, yeah. So I know she's been receiving a lot of flack.
Yeah, because I want, like, how to her
from the Broward and Florida Democrats.
Yeah,
saying that she betrayed her voters and she, you know, all this stuff. And it's like, well, but I mean, first of all, nobody even was able to vote for her in 24 because she didn't have an opponent. But let me see. So here's the statement. She's changing her party affiliation from Democrat to Republican. It was not made lightly. It comes from a deep sense of responsibility to my constituents and my commitment to the values that guide my service. I'll be joining the Republican Conference of the Florida House of Representatives because I believe in their vision for a better, more prosperous Florida. As a mother, I want to help build a world where our children are judged on their character and their actions, not on their labels. As a proud Jewish woman, I have been increasingly troubled by the Democratic Party's failure to unequivocally support Israel and its willingness to tolerate extreme progressive voices that justify or condone acts of terrorism. I am constantly troubled by the inability of the current Democratic Party to relate to everyday Floridians. Ain't that the truth?
Amen.
I can no longer remain in a party that doesn't represent my values. I know I won't always agree on every detail with every Republican, but I do know that I will always have input, collaboration, and respect. The House Republican Conference empowers members to find common sense solutions to real issues facing all Floridians. They welcome different ideas and collaboration, which is the cornerstone of effective government. Those are my values. I ran for office to make my community and the state better. I want my constituents to know my resolve to deliver on these promises has never been stronger. I know the best way to accomplish this is to join Speaker Perez and the Republican Conference in the Florida House of Representatives.
Snippety snap snap.
So it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I think you can get a lot more accomplished for your district when you're in the party, the majority party.
That's
Yep.
true.
I know she's done a lot on the homeowners insurance side of things, and she's worked with my state rep on that kind of stuff in the past. I know, like, being Jewish, she's, you know, the anti-Semitism is troubling to her. Obviously it's troubling to all of us.
I mean, look, we had on, you know, condolences for everyone who's the terror attack in New Orleans, and then like immediately there was like a pro-terrorist rally in Manhattan where they're screaming, "Globalize the Intifada." That's what globalize the Intifada looks like. Is what happened in New Orleans, and they're all just like, "Yep, sounds about right." The whole party.
Well, and did you hear?
They're not condemning these people.
Anything. Right.
The sponsor of the Sugar Bowl, which was delayed until tonight, they Allstate, they had an ad that played before the game started tonight about, it was some like total BS about wanting to, what did it say? It was crazy. We need to overcome an addiction to divisiveness and negativity and accept people's imperfections and differences. About the terrorist attack, like.
I'm sorry, what?
Excuse me?
Divisiveness and negativity? Like, dude drove a truck into a crowd of people.
Set off IEDs and then shot people.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, that doesn't have anything to being addicted to device. I mean, that is the definite. He was being divisive.
Literally dividing people from their souls. Sorry.
That's not funny, but it was funny.
I don't know.
Just in, like... And I'm trying to think who.
It's been a long
I'm trying to think who my dad attributes this quote to. But in an insane world, only the sane appear insane.
Yeah, that's where we're at right
yes,
now.
That's how.
I mean,
that's
that's how it's been for like since 2020.
That's how
quite
we are.
honestly.
That's how we are in our local Republican Party.
That's
in Palm Beach
correct.
County.
That
right
is
now.
correct. And Broward, our local Republican parties, we appear insane as the sane ones.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we're the only ones that really know what's going on. It's the craziest thing.
It's like watching it's like watching a slow motion train wreck.
Yeah. So to close out,
that's probably a bad use of. Sorry.
So
I'm all for 2 tonight, guys.
So to close out this discussion, we're gonna have to watch Rep. Cassell.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I know there was people on X that were digging up past statements that she had back in like 21 and 22 related to like the trans issue and some other stuff. It's like, Like, was this propaganda or were these your views?
I was thinking about the trans issue earlier today, actually. And it's like, if you are like my age, I'm 47. So if you grew up anywhere, like if you heard about, transgenders or cross-dressers, so, that's what they were,
Yeah.
When I was younger, cross-dressers. It's like you would go to these shows and there would be men dressed as women as famous people. I remember going to Las Vegas and seeing
like
Like
Key
drag
West
shows.
and stuff.
yeah. And I was it's so funny you mentioned this because it's like this whole vivid memory came back that when I was pregnant with my youngest and my mom and dad took me to Vegas. And we saw a show and there was a guy that was playing Cher.
Mm-hmm.
And he'd sign autographs or, he had an autograph book or whatever. And so it's like you saw him, and I probably still have it somewhere, but it was like he, as a man, was like decked out in like muscular, like leather clothing on a bike, gorgeous guy. I mean, just gorgeous guy. And then turns around and dresses like Cher and a gorgeous Cher. So it's like, that's how I think a lot of people like my age and older think of transgender. That's what
comes to mind.
That's what comes to mind. They don't even comprehend the fact that they are trying to change the mindset of our children
Correct.
to be an opposite gender than what they were born. Because a lot of people, like, it's just too far-fetched.
It
No,
sounds
that's
insane.
not
That's not happening.
That's not happening.
I think I'm sure I told you guys on election day, the argument I got into with the lady in front of the polling site, that's not happening. Ma'am, it's happening.
Yeah.
Why do you think we're creating? Well, they're creating laws for both. Why do you think they're creating the laws? You think this is what we want to be spending our time on? Like,
Right,
you really and truly
right.
think they're just like pulling this out of their tushies? No, this is happening. Like, I have seen books in my children's, in the board book section at the Boca Raton Library that are completely inappropriate
Mhm.
for board book sized children, which is like 2 years old. And the kids could just go over there and pick out any book. Multiple books.
Yeah.
They had a whole display section, not even in June, just like, October, whatever it was.
Well, that's another month.
Oh, is it?
That's another month.
Is it really?
Yes.
I don't know if it was October. I just made that up. It was like fall. Maybe it was October.
So like June is Pride Month, but October is like, gosh,
Alternative
because
sexual
Broward
month? I
County-
don't know what.
No, Broward County Schools was trying to pass a resolution specifically for October, and it was,
Oh.
I don't know if it was like Trans Awareness Month or I can't remember, but it's something.
So they have all these books, and one of them my daughter picked up, and she wanted to get it because it was beautiful. It had beautiful artwork, and it was just beautiful colors, and I was like, absolutely not. Put that book back. That's not a book for us. And yeah, so this is happening. Like, this is happening.
Yeah. And that's what I think so many people are so removed from politics. And this
Yeah.
is why we started the podcast, was to be able to get people informed about what's going on
Mhm.
and give them an opportunity to have a little bit more in-depth view to be able to make decisions on their own.
Right.
And what I see happening, especially, I can only speak from my own awareness, is that there is no one, like, there is just a lot of misinformation. Like, people just say something and, like, people, the collective just think it's true.
Yeah.
You
People
know,
don't have, as a society, we don't have very strong critical thinking skills.
and it would be like, and I could understand, like, you're just your normal, mom and dad who's just trying to raise their kids and working 40 hours
Yeah.
a week. Like, I could kind of get that thinking. But these are people in our party
Yeah.
that are trying to be in leadership positions that think that they know what they are talking about.
Mhm.
That's what this information is coming from. And it just doesn't, it just bothers me. It just really, really
doesn't bother you,
bothers
Jess.
me.
How
And-
bad does it bother you?
How
And
bad?
and so when you're talking
This
about
bad?
things, so
This
it's like
bad?
you have to, like, ask a lot of questions.
Yes.
Because it's like you have to understand, like, what are they, like, what was she talking about as far as the transgender
well, she was
stuff?
speaking in reference to kids.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which that's a hard
Like
line.
gender
That's
affirming care for kids.
yeah, that's a
Like, in
hard
support of it.
Yeah.
so that's a hard line. No.
Like, hard. But again, I don't, even these, this is again a problem with the politicians on both sides. I don't think a lot of them even ask what is gender affirming care. They just, it's it's become like, you know, it's buzzwords in both parties. It's the buzzword. So instead of asking the questions like you're saying, they just are like, well, yeah, we want to make sure everyone is affirmed. They catch on to these catchphrase
Right.
buzzwords
Yeah.
that make everyone feel warm and soft and gushy. And the same thing happens in the conservative world. All you hear all the time is my conservative mind and the conservative brain and the conservative this. Well, what is that? What
Can
does
you
that
define
mean?
that for me?
Can you
I don't
define
think
that?
you keep using these words. I do not
don't
think
think
you know.
They mean what you think they mean. And if you do know what they mean, then how does that apply? It's one thing to have a theoretical version of what it means to be a conservative, but then how does that apply in today's world where we have to navigate working with people who don't have the same viewpoint as you do? Where do you come in with the compromises? Where do you come in with the conversation? Where do you come in with any
But
of
that's
that?
just it. They don't want to compromise. It's, you know, I am as MAGA as they come. I voted for Trump.
No,
I have been a Trump fan since the 90s. I remember watching him on Sally Jesse Raphael and Donahue.
Oh man, that's a blast from the past.
and
I don't even know
Oprah.
what they're talking about.
Um,
I know Oprah.
I spent my childhood in front of the television. You did not, Josie. That's the difference.
I watched Carmen Sandiego.
Oh, I love that.
I love Carmen Sandiego.
Where in the world
is
Carmen Sandiego.
Don't you?
I had the game. I had the whole thing.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
computer
Oh,
game.
Oh, I
no,
love
I
that.
had the board game
It
and
was
the computer
only
game.
on for like 2 years or something.
No, really?
Yeah. Look
It
it
was
up.
such a
I
great
looked
show.
I looked it up probably a couple years ago, and I thought it lasted a lot
Forever.
longer than it
It
did.
was
Short-lived. It was same as like Kids Incorporated. I
don't
thought
know what
that
that show
had lasted forever.
Was that
and
on Disney too?
I don't know if that was Disney or if that was like a
you guys-
Nickelodeon.
Never mind. There's Carmen Sandiego now. They have a newer version of it, but it's a cartoon and it's not as good. It's weird. And my kids have watched it a couple times and then
What's it
they're
called?
like, Carmen Sandiego, but
Oh.
it's not like,
It's not the same.
it's not the same. I'm like, oh my gosh, Carmen Sandiego. They're like, this is
No, 'cause
weird and boring.
The one Carmen saying
She had bat guano on her
wasn't
shoes.
it?
Do you
Yeah.
remember
It was
from the
live.
game?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
a real thing. No,
Yeah.
this is like a cartoon and it's all like, I don't know, they didn't like it. So
You could-
anyway,
Yeah.
sorry.
Anyway,
Not to derail the conversation. She's a Trump supporter, guys.
Actually,
From day one.
Kids Incorporated was from 1983 to 1992.
Oh, that's pretty long.
That's
oh,
pretty
that
long.
is kind of long. That is longer. That is longer than I thought. But I don't think Carmen Sandiego was on that
No.
long.
Can you
No.
look that one up? We're
And-
going to trust but verify.
Anyway, I've been an avid Trump supporter, and I've had strong Christian conservative views. I just didn't ever sit myself in a party, so to speak. It wasn't until Trump took over the Republican Party that I was like, okay, this is where I fit. You know, based on a lot of his views, and I'm kind of more libertarian, probably more by heart, and to say the least, just. Because I just less government and, no restrictions and things of that nature. So it's like to be able to, put myself out there to run for vice chair, and then to kind of be told through, other people that I wasn't MAGA enough.
And that you didn't also have any
No
plan for local politics. Local politicians. Sorry, that one made me laugh
Like
real
they
hard.
did.
Yeah, no plan for local politics. And what was the other? Oh, I had no political experience.
Yeah. Sorry,
I'm
the whole thing
sorry.
just makes me laugh. It makes me laugh. It's so ridiculous.
I'm
This
like,
is me. I'm Kermit the Frog, but that's none of my business. It's none of my business.
Oh man.
but it just comes to say, like, there's a lot of people in our local party in Palm Beach County that just took for what people said to them as truth.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And there was no logic to it. It was nothing. I was apparently involved in some type of voter guide issue that happened in Jupiter while I'm the South Region regional director.
Did you
at-
teleport to Jupiter all the
Yeah.
Are you
time?
part of Signgate too?
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
It's all your fault, Jessica.
It was all my
Signgate.
fault.
You got loomered.
No, I didn't, but the previous chair did.
Spicy. He
And
did.
probably why he didn't run for re-election. But, hey, it is what it is.
Again, you gotta do the meme again.
But that's none of my business.
Oh my god.
It feels good to have less responsibility in this new year.
You have no idea.
right?
You have no
I'm so
idea.
excited. no campaigns to run. No candidates.
Yep, I
no
am not. I am
committee.
not working on a single candidate campaign.
No,
You know,
it's so
if
weird.
anybody wants to call me and wants my advice or whatever, that's fine. But I am not going to be working for any candidate campaign.
Mm-mm.
I am not going to be working on anything, and I'm not going to put myself in that corner. So I'm here to
I'm gonna
observe.
stick to my boards.
I'm
My
here
community boards.
Yep.
Oh yeah, because you're still on like the Solid Waste Authority.
I'm on the
and-
Solid Waste Authority and the Women's Advisory Committee for Palm Beach County. I might add one on Boca. I'm looking at the Boca boards. And see what's on there.
What's
Just
open?
The community advisory panel, but I heard that they were like all their power and sway was yanked by the council, so no one wants to do it because it's a waste of time. I don't know if that's what the rumor on the street is. So I've looked at that, and then the historic. I was just looking at the other day. I think the Historical Beautification Board.
Oh, cool.
'Cause I love
I
history.
think I saw that one too.
And I love the history of Boca, and I think
Mhm.
it's really cool. And
Yeah.
so I was eyeballing that one, although don't tell my husband because he wants me to get a real job. It's paid money.
Too late.
So
He just heard.
I know he doesn't really listen to this. We'll see. This will be the test to see if he listens to the episode tonight.
I can't. For some reason, it's not letting me get into this Carmen San Diego one.
Oh, the Carmen San Diego one. Yeah, it is. It's nice, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be an interesting year.
I think it's going to be very interesting state-wise.
Yeah.
I think the thing of it is I think our our local races are it is just what it is. You're not going to have any rallying support around any particular candidate. I don't think there's a whole lot of news or a whole lot of issues being talked
I don't think
about.
it's going to be. I think Boynton is the one that's going to get the most spicy. I mean, I think
Yeah.
those are some pretty. I think there's heavy favorites already.
Yes.
So I don't know that a lot of the spice is going to sway any of the favorites.
Well, I think the thing of it is that they're divided. So when you look at the political apparatus that we have here in Palm Beach County, they're split on the candidates.
Mm-hmm.
And so that makes a very interesting race. That's how Tom Carney won in Delray Beach,
Right.
was because they were split in the candidates. So, you know, it's interesting how things kind of play out. You also have Mike Caruso turns out, and so that's his area, right?
26. No, his area's not Boynton anymore. It's just north.
It's north of
Oh no,
Boynton.
it is.
I
No,
know- I
it's
thought-
north.
I thought it was
No,
I
because
thought it was
what's his
Boynton.
name?
That's
wait,
Lois
no,
Frankel's.
right?
Well, Caruso's.
87, right?
Yeah,
So he goes to
yeah, Boynton
Gateway.
East. Yeah.
So
So it splits.
So it splits. So that's going to be interesting how Boynton plays out, because it's gonna be able to show us how maybe Tracy will fare in Boynton.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to for those that don't know, Tracy Caruso, who was a guest on our show,
Yes, shout out Tracy.
is running for State House 87 to because Mike Caruso has termed out. It will term out in 2026, so she's already put her hat in the ring and has filed. So that I think is going to be the interesting part of Boynton, because it's going to see if that's going to shake up any of that, you know, the House races in for 87 and 90.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. It's gonna be interesting.
It is.
And I've heard rumors that Lois Frankel's not going to run again.
Really?
That's what we've heard. We'll see. I should keep
I
saying that.
think it's going to be determined on how well Trump does this first year.
Mhm.
I think if he really is able to do a lot of the things that he says, I think she won't run again. I
Yeah.
think she'll realize that she
It's not worth it anymore.
Right.
So, because which would be
She's
very
old.
interesting, because that would open a power vacuum.
Yeah.
She's old.
She's old.
Right, but you have to find somebody to run in that seat that can actually win. And I'm sorry, our candidates that have been
Oh
in-
yeah, no,
in-
I don't
in
disagree.
CD 2020 in CD 22 cannot win. They just can't. They have no idea the demographics. They have no idea how the political apparatus plays here. You have to get the NPA and Democrat votes if you want to win a Congress seat
Yeah.
or a state house seat. You have to be.
Yeah.
Let me make this very clear. And I think Broward is kind of similar, but I know you're way more Dem heavy than we are.
Yeah. So it goes double in Broward.
Right.
Usually.
So it's like Palm Beach County is a third Republican, a third Democrat, and a third NPA.
Yep.
That means we had a 90% turnout in 2024 in Palm Beach County. Even with a 90% turnout, we lost a lot of our House races. Now, there were a couple that got within a closer margin, and then we were able to flip, what was it, 89?
Gerwig. Yeah. No,
that was Zapata. Gerwig was
87.
94.
2?
I
No,
think
Weinberger was 94.
Oh yeah,
93, I think, was
93.
Okay.
was Catherine Waldron. So we were able to flip that seat. So but the margins were really close. And
that one went to a recount.
Right. And that's because MPAs and Democrats voted for her.
Yes.
That's why that works. In the other races that we lost so handedly by, it was because our candidates could not get an NPA to vote for them and could not even get Republicans to vote for them because they sucked as candidates. I'm sorry to say it, and I'm no longer part of, I have no title within the party, so I'm speaking as myself, as an individual, and it's very clear that if you are not willing to go at the issues, and I'm not talking Republican issues, I'm talking local issues.
Yes.
Yeah.
Having
You
a
have
grasp
to
of the issues.
focus on local issues, because what's happening is our local Republican Party is injecting federal problems locally.
Yes.
That's what they're doing.
That's
and
what-
they're doing it in Broward too.
And when you have a heated primary where someone has to, like in the example of going congressional, if we go to like CD22, where you've got they're vying for, or CD. I'm gonna use that a couple examples, but this is the one I'm sticking with. Vying for like Trump's endorsement and this. Once you get all of that and you get that crown of being the nominee for the Republican Party, how do you turn around and appeal to the Democrats and then the never Trumper NPAs who were like, you have Trump's endorsement, I'm not voting for you?
Right.
Immediately. So we shoot ourselves in the foot by having these crazy intense primaries where we're spending hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars to go at each other's throats, to then give the Democrat opponent every item that they could possibly need to take you down. It doesn't make any sense.
And I want to be
we need to work smarter, not harder.
Right.
Sorry.
And I want to be very clear that the candidates sucked as candidates, not as people. They're nice people. They mean well.
I think everybody means well.
They want a good Republican government. I don't deny that at all. But the way that their strategy is, especially with those that are hiring consultants on the other side of the state and have no idea how things work here, and then the ones that do know how things work here, you shove off to the side and you don't want to hear from them. That's the problem, and that's why you lose. We did not lose a sheriff's race because, of voter fraud. We lost the sheriff race because Michael Gauger came out and acted like a disgruntled employee looking for revenge and trashed a 20-year servant of the community.
That people love. People
right.
love Bradshaw.
Love him or hate him.
Right.
Regardless, he served our county for 20 years and he did his job well. Do we like the way that he handles his office? No, not usually.
Does he spend way too much money?
Yes, he does.
Not as much as Greg Toney, though.
Oh,
That's true.
Do they spend the highest in the state?
I don't know. I don't know the answer to that.
Probably.
Come on, Abby. You need to know the answers to every question I ask.
I would have to look. I mean, I would probably only have to poll a couple different counties.
It's going to
sheriff
be one of the
budget.
big three.
I don't know. Duval's really big,
That's true.
so they may have a pretty big budget.
That's true.
That's true.
And they don't
That's
have a lot. I think it probably also has to do with how many municipalities are in the county as well.
Well, that's the
if you-
thing. The city of Jacksonville is Duval County.
Right.
Like
So
the
just
city is
there's
the county.
city police and Duval
No,
County
they just have
police?
Jacksonville sheriffs.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like in a county that has like in Palm Beach County that has tons of municipalities and not all of them have their own police office,
Right.
police departments, but there are a lot that do, that would probably lessen the resources that are needed. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah.
Totally. No,
that's okay.
I'm
I'm
trying to
nerding-
get your rant.
nerding out on the sheriff's
Yeah,
budget.
the budget's over here.
Yeah. Like, I'm not a fan of the sheriff's budget at all, but if you want a good candidate, then you need to invest in a good candidate. Sheriff Diaz would have been a great, or should I say Captain Diaz? He
Sheriff Diaz.
Yeah, I wanted him to be sheriff. You know, we had an opportunity to get him in, and he could have beat Bradshaw, but nobody wanted to listen to me. Nobody wanted to hear a winning strategy to be able to make sure that what happened couldn't have happened.
People need to ask questions.
Yeah,
Question
they don't.
everything.
They just blindly, they see somebody that they like, and then they just blindly, I don't even know what the word is. Like, they just
follow.
Yeah, it's like a cult. It's like, and I'm like looking, I'm like, did you do any research? Did you actually figure anything out?
Did you listen to the guy talk?
Did you ask him any of the tough questions?
I'm sorry.
The term listless vessels comes to mind.
Listless vessels. Wow. We might go down in flames tonight.
You guys don't remember that from the presidential primary last year?
Yes.
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 Yes. It
Oh
took me
my
a second to
God.
make the connection. Yes. Oh my gosh. It's true. Well, so like we sat through, I remember when we did the debate, which if you're just curious to see what we're talking about, I would love for
That
an
is one
audience-
of our highest viewed episodes.
It was so
on YouTube.
informative.
Or-
Like personally, as just being
Yeah.
able to moderate it and listen to the answers to the questions, because we gave equal time. We asked the same, almost all 95% of the questions were the same questions, and then each candidate got their own specific question based off of their own history. And hearing their answers, there was so much that was revealed in that debate that was just crazy. And so people need to take the time and not go into it with like, oh, this is the candidate that I'm supporting and therefore it doesn't matter what the other person says. But no, we need to hear what they're saying and ask the correct questions. So like, everyone knows I was homeschooled, and we would go on, my mom would take us on these field trips, and they would always ask, does anyone have any questions? And she would like shove us to the front and be like, ask a question. I'd be like, oh, I don't know what I'm asking. Figure out a question. Ask a question. I don't care if you ask how many cucumbers at Publix, how many cucumbers do you sell a day? Like, it can be stupid. Ask a question. And it makes like, and so like, we just always
Did
ask
you tour the
questions.
Publix plant in Deerfield?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yes, it was a long time ago. But we took my when my oldest was in second grade or third grade, we didn't do the Publix plant, but we did a public store. Oh my gosh. The kids you should have thought, like my daughter cannot still to this day wait to work at Publix.
Oh.
When I turned 14, I'm working at Publix. I'm like, all right, it works for me.
It's a great company.
It's a great company to work for, especially at 14. But like, yeah, so like it's ingrained in kind of how I tell my kids too. I'm like, did you ask questions? You have to ask questions. What's the question that you have? Like, articulate your question, formulate it, and ask it.
But that's the thing is I don't even think they think enough to even understand that they can ask questions, or what even questions that they would even think about asking.
That's my point.
Right.
We need to go back to asking questions. Question everything. Questions.
Do your own research.
Yeah.
If you're not going to question, then do your own research and find out, or at least like talk to the campaigns, like somebody that that's involved, that's trusted, or whatever. Like, there's so many different avenues that you can use instead of just blindly believing that somebody says that, I mean, somebody in our party recently said that, we handed over a county check to the to the Center and Arts of Innovation for $860,000 that was Palm Beach County tax money. It wasn't. It was ARPA funds.
And the concept that we shouldn't spend any money ever is not a conservative value either.
No.
So saying no, we're not going to spend any money on
The whole reason why we got into this mess is because we haven't been spending the money where it needed to go, and that we allowed the Democrats to focus too much on clean energy and
pumps. What
and-
are they called?
charging stations.
electric charging
that
stations.
don't charge.
Well, not even that, but like,
That
Closer to
runoff of what?
Coal.
Electricity.
Electricity.
yeah. You can be so conservative and not want to spend a dime, but like down the road, it's going to come back to bite you in the butt.
that's
and that's
right.
that's what we're dealing with in the city right now. Is
So many of our municipalities
we held the
are dealing with
millage rate
that.
so low for so long, and people loved it, myself included. Like I personally don't want to pay a lot of taxes, but at the same time, we've got 70-year-old infrastructure now that needs to be replaced and repaired, and it's not cheap, and inflation makes everything more expensive. And then, when your city budget's 2/3 personnel with police and fire, and then the rest of the city personnel, and then you've got to make the city run and do improvements and everything else with the remaining 30 to 33%. it's just, it makes for a super tight budget, and it's like, you can only cut so much in a city budget.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing is, it's like they complain about the county budget in Palm Beach County being $7 billion, and it's like our property values went over $1 trillion last year, and then it's only 24% of the budget comes from ad valorem taxes. And then if you look at that percentage, which I will find out one of these days, I just haven't done the math, was that a majority of that 24% is from business property and investment property, not your homesteaded.
No.
Your homesteaded property tax is minuscule when it comes to that $7 billion budget. And that's what a lot of people do not
Don't
understand.
Well, that's why I brought up going back to this arts thing. So this campus is going to be amazing in South County.
Mhm.
Yes.
And in
But how
Meisner
did
Park.
that qualify for ARPA funds?
Because according to Treasury, it has to be for growth and future opportunity.
Which it is. So because it's in arts and
we use
innovation.
ours for like stormwater projects.
Well, we use it for that too. But like it's
and remilling and paving.
yeah. So this is a project that's going to be in Meisner Park where the amphitheater
Oh,
is.
yeah.
So it's actually one of the only arts projects that Governor DeSantis didn't redline in the last budget because it's a great project.
Yeah.
And it's going to take the amphitheater and transform it into a campus for literally arts and innovation. They're going to have like a smaller theater, so not like the size of the Kravis Center or Arch Center or anything like that, but smaller theater that has
3,000 seats.
3,000 seats, thank you. Has movable seats, so it can be configured for different ways. It can be set up to have a banquet, so it can be rented out for all kinds of events. They want to have stuff like Apple come in and be able to do like product launches and things like that. They also want to have like community art events where people in the community, where what's being projected in, like being shown on the stage inside, can be projected on the wall outside. So people walking around with their kids can come and sit and watch like a ballet, like on the big screen that's happening inside, and maybe, not have to pay the $35 a person to go in, but still get exposure to like arts and things like that. And rooms for community camps, summer camps, and studios, like art studios, so dance studios and different studios can rent spaces for very, very low cost. After school programs. So it's going to be huge for not just community building, which is important, and we as conservatives need to be a part of community building.
Yes.
We cannot just keep sitting on our conservative hands going, I don't get involved because it's all Democrats that do that, or I don't get involved because it's all this, or I don't get involved.
too busy,
or just go to their social clubs. They only care about their social clubs.
So, get involved in what's happening in your community. This is a way to do something like that.
Yeah.
And then on the flip side of it, having big events come in that are going to bring revenue to all of our restaurants, that are going to bring revenue to our hotels, which increases our bed taxes, which directly impacts the economic development of the county. All of these things.
That stay here locally.
The bed tax money stays here in the county. And we get to use it for a lot of really cool stuff that, again, enhances.
It is restricted.
Yes.
There's only certain things we can use it for, but yes.
But the things that we can use it for, again, enhance and build the community and the desire for people to want to be connected. So being a conservative is not just, I'm a conservative and I have conservative
it's
values.
having a vision for the future, too. It's like, it's being conservative, but having like a holistic, I'm dealing with this right now, and it's like, yes, like there's some things to be conservative on, and there's some things we shouldn't be spending money on. But like, if this certain project or this piece of property or whatever has a long-term use for the city, we may not know what that use is right this second, but
exactly,
it could it could pay dividends into the future, and it could be a valuable asset for the city going forward. And it's like, in the grand scheme of things, like, it makes sense to invest in this project. It makes sense to invest in this piece of
that's
property.
exactly what's happening with this innovation campus, because it's going to be something that and the designer behind it. I love that you posted that, Jessica, in our group chat. That reminder of the designer. He's an architect.
The architect.
Piano.
Piano. He's a very famous architect. It's going to put Boca Raton, Palm Beach County, on the world map for architectural design and attraction.
And it could be one of his last projects that he ever does. And so that in itself, to have just a little piece of that, and that is what I think is so cool, because if you really understood Boca Raton, and this is why we had Steve Abrams on,
it was such a great episode. If you didn't listen to it, go back and listen to it. It was fascinating.
It's like, this is the this is the growth that Boca Raton is kind of known for without destroying its community. In like it's that old world, like
community. It's gonna be.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. Like I hope that one day my kids get to perform on those stages.
Isn't also like they can open up this?
Yeah,
the
they can open up the
amphitheater
whole
and
thing.
Close it.
Yeah, they can open it up and enclose it. It's gonna be so cool. I'm so excited.
yeah. So
When-
it's like
what's like the projected?
They're supposed to break ground by the end of next
it's
year.
supposed to be done by 2030.
So they're supposed to start breaking ground, I think, at the end of 26, I believe.
And it's like so many of, like Meisner Park is known for like its, little markets and its little festivals that it has. And it's, like free yoga and all of that kind of stuff. And now that areas can be covered so that you can use it more year round.
Yeah.
And so it's like there's.
Because it's hot.
And
Ain't nobody wants to be out there in July.
Correct.
It's hot.
Correct.
It's terrible.
It's like I remember sitting out there for the for when they announced Piano.
The architect. Yes.
And it was so freaking
hot.
hot. It was so hot.
All these dignitaries, all the dignitaries, so like, the whole city council, the commissioners, and all these people were there, and everyone's just sweating.
It was so hot.
I think everyone was like, yes, put the cover on, get it covered, get it covered.
Everybody was sold after that.
We will vote yes to cover this.
when Andrea Virgin was like, "Oh, this will be covered," with our
Sold
done
tomorrow.
And it had complete, bipartisan support across the line on the city council and in the commission.
And again, it's one of the only arts funding from the state that DeSantis didn't redline.
Yeah.
It's great. Anyway, I never spent a lot of time on it, but it's a great project, and I'm excited about it.
And there's a lot of things that go on. It's like there's a big heated topic too about the SOE office, right?
Mhm.
That there's a lot of complaints about that in 2024 that the new SOE office was built and there's these big flamingos or whatever. Well, that was put into process and given to staff in 2019. So if you want to complain about it in 2024, maybe you should go back and look to see what happened in 2019, 2020, 2021.
I can speak from someone who has personal experience that the building needed a new building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it was
the Broward
not
SOE,
a safe workspace.
The Broward SOE moved into a new building.
Yeah.
At election time too, and I think they're going to be consolidating the two locations that they had, one downtown and one in Lauderhill, into this. I think that's what they're doing. I may be somewhat mistaken, but I think they're moving all the equipment from the equipment center in Lauderhill to this, and it's up off a commercial, like in North Fort Lauderdale. So, but they need it. They had outgrown downtown.
Yeah.
And
I mean, you want efficient elections. You need to have a space that you want people to work, people who want to work for
and
the
there's
SOE.
more space for the public to come in and be part of the process.
That's
and
important.
serve
Yeah, same
and
thing at
all
the
of
new
that.
building.
So,
Same thing at the new building for the SOE.
Plus, it's a closed building, and it's a singled building, which means that your infrastructure is better, your internet, your just the hardening of the building is better, the cybersecurity is better. All of that kind of stuff comes into play when you're talking about your own individual building. The building that they were at previously was rented, and it was actually very difficult to make sure that the internet and everything was secure because of the building location and all of that kind of stuff. So these are things that your average person that doesn't understand local government, local budgets, or even your local political party have no idea what they're doing. You need to have this information. And it's like, look, I came in here 4 years ago trying to figure out how this all worked. And instead of being, yelling and screaming at our political leaders or telling them that they don't know what they're doing, I asked questions and I got involved and I got educated. And then once I got educated, then I was like, okay, this is what we need to do because this is where it's broken and this is how we can fix it. But nobody's interested in that.
Okay, so I'm going to pivot for a second. I don't disagree with anything you're saying, but I want to say this before I forget because you all know how I get. Something kind of bringing it back to elections, speaking of supervisor of elections that people need to be watching for is President Trump loves Florida, and he loves appointing all of our elected representatives and senators to his cabinet, which then means it triggers special elections. So none of them are scheduled yet because until the cabinet appointees...
Not down here.
Well, not down here in South
No,
County,
some
but
of the like the North
District
Florida
1.
districts, 1 and 6.
well, Bryan Mast, which is not down here in South County, but it's Palm Beach County.
Oh yeah, but that one hasn't been triggered yet.
Hasn't been triggered yet.
Right.
But
What's-
but
Oh,
Randy
District-
Fine and
Yes.
and
Matt Gates' district.
yeah,
District 1.
Jimmy
Patronus.
Patronus.
Oh,
I'm like,
Jimmy Patronus.
what the heck's our CFO's name?
Yeah.
Patronus.
Yes,
Patronus. Those have been triggered.
Those have been triggered. They're gonna be in April. I
April
they are.
1st,
Okay.
I
Primary.
think.
Yeah.
No,
I think it is. I think it's April 1st.
Wait, so the CFO is going to be April position is going to be on the ballot?
no,
No.
Wait.
The congressional race is going to be.
Oh, okay, but then doesn't Jimmy Patronus has to resign from
Yes.
the CFO, and so won't that trigger, or is that trigger an appointment, or
There will be an appointment until 26.
Okay.
yeah.
so we're not gonna have to vote for CFO before 26
My understanding is no. I think it's an appointment
until the next election.
general
Same thing for
election.
senator.
Correct.
Yes,
So same thing for Rubio.
yes.
Which then, if DeSantis appoints someone, another elected in the state of Florida to take Rubio's seat, that could trigger an election,
If
depending on
if
who
the
he votes.
pers- yeah,
If it's an elected already.
yeah.
So,
So-
now they can't really, or with Rubio's seat, they can't do anything until he actually is in.
Confirmed.
Correct?
That's what I was saying.
Right.
Yeah,
Because
confirmed.
if he does not confirm, then he keeps his seat.
Correct. There's,
Yeah. As
there's
long
no
as he doesn't
resign or
resign, he
run.
doesn't have to resign to
No.
go through confirmation.
Yeah, because
That's-
he's not running for anything.
Right.
Okay.
So that's
So
why
the
like
Ru-
Gates was kind of preemptive, because like kind of weird that he resigned so early, which is a whole thing which we won't get into because it's too
But
much
also,
federal. But
he could do the vote tomorrow.
He
Who?
could. Gates.
Gates.
oh yeah,
Because he's technically he was voted in for
Oh
this
yeah,
session.
yeah,
So he could go in and on January 3rd and vote
yeah.
for the speaker.
Because
Oh,
technically he
boy.
didn't resign
That's
from
tomorrow's
this Congress.
race. That's tomorrow, isn't it?
Yes.
I've been in a bubble.
the
I've been in like a
speaker.
bubble. I really am not gonna lie, guys. I haven't even been listening to my normal political podcast. It's all been like history
Well, a lot of
podcasts.
people
I
haven't-
needed a break.
There hasn't been a whole lot of.
I needed a
people
break.
on, I don't think.
I don't watch a lot of movies and stuff, but like I was watching some Christmas movies over the last
Mhm.
few weeks, and I finally watched a Christmas movie that I had never watched before.
Which was?
Die Hard.
Oh, I love Die Hard as a Christmas movie.
Christmas
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Bruce Willis says it's not.
Well, you know what? Bruce Willis can.
Oh
I'm just
no!
kidding.
Don't hate on Bruce.
No,
'cause,
I love
yeah.
Bruce Willis. I think it's a Christmas movie too.
I think it is.
You know what we watched, which I highly recommend? It was super adorable. Is the best Christmas pageant ever.
Okay.
It was really cute. You should watch it with if your nephews and nieces haven't seen it yet. You should. And I know
Where-
Christmas is
where,
over.
Where do we watch it?
We bought it on a streaming service, so just I don't know.
Okay.
It was in theaters, so like my kids' school went on a field. We're gonna take two of my kids on a field trip to go see it, but they didn't want to go because then my son wouldn't have got to see it. So they stayed home that day and we rented it and watched it, and it was super cute. I enjoyed it. The kids enjoyed it. It was really good. So the best Christmas pageant ever. It was so cute. I love Christmas.
We watched Red One.
Mm-hmm.
That was.
I've seen
really
that
good.
one. That was good.
That was
Yeah, that's
really
a good one.
It's almost like it was funny because you're watching and going,
Is this real?
"Is that how he really does it?" That's kind of cool.
I love that they made Santa fit. I love
Yeah,
that.
that's a new trend now in
I
some of these movies is to
love
make
that.
Santa like fit and sassy.
Yeah.
So on another note,
Yeah.
going back to where in the world is
Carmen Sandiego.
From 1991 to 95 was the TV series, and then Where in Time is Carmen
Oh, I never
Sandiego
watched that one.
was from 1996 to 97,
Oh,
and there was 2 animated ones.
yeah. When are those?
One was Where on Earth is Carmen Sandiego from 94 to 99, and then Carmen Sandiego from 2019 to 21.
That's the one that's on Netflix that
Yeah.
my kids watched. They were not impressed.
Go
So,
back to the original one. So the original one lasted 4 years.
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
what.
And the game came out in 1985.
Yeah, I figured the game was older.
Oh.
It's pretty
yeah,
old school.
because it
'Cause
was
it was-
off of the game.
I feel like,
I feel
did
like it
that
was on-
still for
I feel
sale.
like
I
it
think I
was
need
on
to buy
floppy
that.
discs.
Yeah.
I'm
No,
pretty
but
sure it was on.
I
Do you
think
know what
it
floppy disks are,
I
Josie?
do, yes, I know what floppy disks are. I do. Please, I remember big drama. What is this?
Hey, it was a big deal when they came out with the hard cassette floppy disk.
Well, there was also a movie, but it was only at planetariums because they showed it like where in the world.
Oh, that's cool.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, our first computer was like an old Apple computer that was
You're
like
right. It was a
Oregon Trail,
disc-based
that's what I
game.
think.
yeah,
See, I told you. I remember the floppies, man.
Yes. Because that's the 85. That's when
Yeah. Well, I don't think I
floppies all
played it
came out.
that. I mean, I was
came
only,
out in '85.
Well, that's when all those games can't come out.
That's when I was born. This is my year, guys. This is my year. It is.
It's a big year for you.
It's a big year.
Ooh.
We're staring it down.
Ooh.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun.
I'm the meme.
Big 5-0.
5? 4.
Oh, then it's not
Jeez,
that big.
Stu.
It's not that big.
It is big.
Nah.
40
40
is
is
big.
50 is
40's
bigger.
big.
40 is big for women.
40 wasn't big for me because you were 50.
That's true.
why. So it was a little more important that you turned 50 than I turned 40.
I feel like for women though, 40 is a little bigger than 50,
Okay, I'm sorry.
Right? I don't know.
I put you a little 10 years
Thanks,
ahead of
Stu.
your time.
I know I'm
Big-
looking busted, but I didn't realize it was that bad. Definitely need to do dry
You
January.
definitely don't look 50 by any means.
Oh, thanks.
No.
She would look good for 50, though, right?
Mhm. You look
Maybe
great
that's-
for 40.
Oh, thank you.
You
I'm
look
28.
Like you look like you're 32, maybe.
I'll take
She
it.
looks like she's 39.
T-shirts help. Gosh, I promise it's just water and coffee. There's nothing extra.
I added a little vodka to that.
Oh, thanks. I would know. Although maybe I wouldn't. I'm just kidding.
It's been a long Hanukkah.
It's been a long. It's not just Hanukkah. Like it literally starts like November. Like our holiday season is just insane with the amount of between birthdays and parties and party planning and. It's been a long.
You make me exhausted
It's
just talking about it.
Like looking back, I'm like, did we just do all of that? Like I went to Costco.
It was a chore for me just to get around and take a shower and get dressed today.
No, I went to Costco probably twice a week since the end of November.
And I didn't take
Did
a
you
shower.
ever run into AJ and Big Justice?
No.
Do you know who that is?
No.
We Bring the Boom?
No.
You don't know them?
No.
Oh my gosh.
I need to see this.
They're like the
apparently.
Costco. They're the Costco family. They like go to Costco and they're like, we bring the boom.
Oh, yes, they
They're-
wear. Do they wear the clothes? The Costco clothes?
I don't know.
Okay, I've seen those Instagram people where they would like buy all the Costco clothes online. Not the Costco clothes, like clothes
But they
that
live
you
in
buy from
Boca.
Costco.
These people live in Boca.
Do they really?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe
They're like New Jersey people.
Oh,
you know.
I avoid everyone at Costco. I just avoid eye contact.
Yeah, I keep my head down.
And my poor husband has had to come with me. He's getting sticker shock grocery shopping because I do all the grocery
Oh.
shopping, and he has to. He's been having to come because I can't lift the stuff or like push the carts or whatever. And so he's been coming with me, and he puts the cart in. And he's like, "Really?" I'm like, "It's just we got 2 extra things." He's like, "Really?" I'm like, "That's it." And this is we bought normal food, and he's like, "Yeah." So it's been fun having that sticker shock come along with him because I don't think he believes me sometimes when I say how expensive things are. He's just like, okay. I'm like, no, I don't think you understand. Like,
Especially olive oil, right?
especially olive. I don't even buy it anymore, guys. I buy avocado oil now because I can't afford the olive oil.
I switched to avocado oil a while ago.
I think
like
it has a
better.
higher. I think it's a
Smoke
higher
rate.
smoke point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I've been using a lot of ghee because Costco started selling ghee.
Oh.
So
Oh.
love me my ghee. Yeah, it's above the oils.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely worth it. Anyway.
Can you fry in that?
Yeah, I fried
yeah.
latkes. I actually did I did a ghee avocado mixture, oil mixture
I've
to
been
fry my
trying to-
latkes, and it was really good.
I like making homemade chicken tenders, and it's really
This conversation today has been very, very food heavy.
He's like. "Mm."
Sorry.
he likes them.
Clearly.
It just went back to the last time I had them.
He's like yes. Okay, continue.
And before I learned a lot about seed oils and all of that kind of stuff, I've always used like vegetable or canola oil. Well, now I'm like, what is an alternative?
yeah,
and-
ghee.
I don't want to fry in butter, but and then
Butter's
Why
better.
not?
well, because
That'd be a lot of sticks of butter.
It's a lot of butter.
it's
Yeah.
a lot of butter, and butter can be heavy
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah.
So you
That's why ghee,
you
because
get
it
that
has the milk
grease-
solids taken out.
That's
so,
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm like, I wonder. So now I learned. I'm like, if you can fry in that, I'm
You
like,
can.
that's a great alternative.
You gotta
And that
mess
comes
with
at
the smoke.
Costco, you said?
Yeah, they sell it at Costco. It has a slightly different smoking point than other things. It's a little bit higher, so you got to kind of play with it because things then burn quickly. So
Right.
you got to get the temperature just right. But I have also been baking a lot of my chicken tenders and my kids with panko, and it makes them super crispy. And they're on I do them on like a a stone,
Uh-huh.
so it gets really crispy on the bottom too. Because that's the problem with baking them is
Yeah.
they get soggy. But if you do it on a stoneware, the stone gets
Preheat
really.
the stone.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
I remember.
If you're
If I remember and I'm not in a rush, then yes, I will do that. But then and those get also really crispy, and I haven't had to use any oil.
I haven't
on those,
tried to.
so.
I never thought about.
But you gotta do it
doing
with
oven.
panko,
'Cause I've
not
always
regular
been a f-
breadcrumbs.
Yeah, because the thing with the oven is that they're soggy. So
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's
That's a
the way
good
I've gotten around it is
you
panko
soak 'em
and.
in buttermilk, and then you.
Oh, well, yeah. Okay. All right. So our next podcast is going to be cooking
Cooking by Jessica.
And
cooking with
Jesse-
Jessica, Josie, and Abby, with
Wow.
Stu making yum noises in the corner.
I'll be the official taste
Taste
tester.
tester.
Yeah, I guess we
Yeah.
all did. We have done a lot of cooking and baking the last few weeks.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
been like very heavy. Yeah, we cooked. I had 3 crock pots going for the
geez.
brisket for
Oh,
the
wow.
Hanukkah party. We got a
Wow.
20-pound brisket that my husband chopped up and butchered and fat cut. So I'm gonna render fat. I have this whole pile
Oh,
of
you gonna
fat
make
that
some
I'm gonna make some
tallow, huh?
tallow. Yeah, that's my next project.
Ooh.
So, and then I lined up all I had to borrow people's crock pots and I lined them all up and had them plugged in and just like stood there. I'm like, this is crazy. All these crock pots. Like, yeah, it's been an intense like a couple weeks of cooking for sure. Yeah. And the latkes, whew. And then we also do this thing in my family where if you make latkes, because you have to squeeze out, all the water. And so we do a potato shot.
Ugh.
Yes, it's horrible and disgusting. And I don't know why we do it, but we do it. It's like a thing that we all do. And so like
Is it just the potato water?
no, you mix it with vodka.
Okay. Ugh.
Uh-huh. I don't know which one's worse. The vodka or the potato water. And it's so gross. It's just like a little bit. You just do like a little
Shot.
bit. Yeah, but even like small, like smaller than a full
Ugh.
shot. Oh, it's so horrible and disgusting. But we all do it every year like crazy people and like laugh. And everyone's always like, when we're done. We're like, why do we do this? I don't know. It's just a thing. It's a thing now that we've done for like 8 years.
That's your oddball Christmas or Hanukkah tradition.
Yes, it's our
Like
oddball
my
tradition.
like my family's Burdines box tradition.
Which
Oh,
is, what do you
yes.
do?
So you guys remember Burdines?
The store?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like obviously it went away in like 2005 when Macy's, they were owned by Federated Department Stores for a long time, but then they finally did away with the Burdines name. But my mom saves gift boxes,
Mm-hmm.
and there's like one last Burdines box left, and she's the one that wraps most of the presents in the family, and it's like we say that whoever gets that box wins Christmas.
Oh, so
So-
she gets to pick who gets it?
Yes, because she's got the.
So does that mean that you're the favorite for the year then?
I guess I got it this year.
Yeah.
First time ever.
Congratulations.
That's awesome.
You
That's
win.
awesome.
I won Christmas.
Yay! You get to do a potato latke shot. That's your
Oh.
I have to
Potato
tell you,
latke shot.
there was this reel or something that I was watching, and it was like this large family, had to have been like 15, 20 people.
I think I see.
And there was this kid who was probably, I don't know, 14, 15 years old or whatever. And he opens up the box and it's a t-shirt and it says Granny's favorite on it. And there's all these grandkids and he goes around, I told you I was the favorite. I told you I was her favorite. I told you. He went around to like everyone. I told you. It was the funniest thing. I was like,
And
oh my
everybody's just
God.
like,
So when you said that, it just reminded me of that.
What is your holiday win? Or like I'm asking our audience if anyone would like to share there. We can read off anybody's.
We have no chats yet tonight.
Come on, guys.
We've got a few people viewing, but
Give us some chats. Give us some questions. Throw us some
wins, weird traditions,
or resolutions.
resolutions.
Do you guys do resolutions?
No.
Kind of.
I do things I
More
want to
like
work
goals,
on.
yeah.
Yeah, it's more like goals. So, yeah, same. Have you done any goals, or is it more like?
I haven't put them to paper yet. I usually do like some sort of like doodle, where I like kind of
pseudo vision board type
Yeah,
thing.
kind of. I saw a cool thing. I shared it with my coaching community about like doing a bingo card. Like I found a
Oh.
website with like a whole bunch of different themed bingo cards, so like financial wellness or like just wellness or like fitness.
That's a good idea.
Where like you cross them off as you accomplish them, and then obviously it's a bingo card. So if
Yeah.
you get 4 cross or whatever,
You get bingo?
yeah. Maybe
I've seen
maybe
these
you like
ones-
predetermine
Yeah, like your
a
reward or
big
something.
prize. Yeah.
I've seen these ones where they take like little mini bottles of Prosecco, or I've seen big bottles, but of Prosecco and like will tie like a tag to it with like a goal and then like set it aside. So like if it's like graduate, if somebody's about to graduate or, pay off debt or pay off a card and they have them in a basket, like sitting in the house, and every time they accomplish one of them, they get to open the bottle and like use that as like
That's
a
great
celebration.
for an alcoholic.
I know, right? Not for me. I don't accomplish that many goals. It'd take me forever. No, just kidding.
I'd be like,
But you could do it with you could do it with whatever your reward would be, that you would be like, this is my celebratory thing of like, chocolate or Sour Patch Kids. Sure. Yeah. Or,
and like, I did the Whole30. Oh, I've done it a handful of times.
I need to do that. I always started in January.
It's
so
the problem. Like, it's good, and like I've had good success with it, but it's not sustainable.
No, well, it's not supposed to be sustainable.
No.
So
I'm very black and white.
I know, me too.
I've been hearing
really
a lot
hard.
of talk about 80% clean, 20% whatever.
See, that's how I did for a while, and then it started to kind of go.
Yeah, I can't moderate. That's my problem.
I'm a snacker.
Yeah.
I really like
too.
my snacks.
Me too.
Where I was going with it was like, with the Whole30, like you don't want to reward your wins with cheats.
Right.
There's no cheating in Whole30.
There's no.
Because it defeats the purpose, Stu.
So like you want your reward to be something completely different than food. Like,
Yeah.
In that case.
Yeah, and that's like even in our family, we don't like. I know a lot of people who like when their kids get good grades or they're doing this or they're going after a show, they go celebrate by having ice cream. And they go like we don't like we don't do that. We don't like if they get good grades. We go cool. I'm just kidding.
Good job.
Good job.
You did your job.
They don't even know. I don't know as I tell them because I get their report cards. They don't even get their report cards. So I actually don't know. I'm just like, you're doing great. You're doing great. Grades are just a measurement to see if you know what you're talking about. That's it. And if you don't, then we'll figure it out. Anyway, beside the point. Point being is like I try not to do food as like our thing.
Well,
but
or I mean, like just getting back to like that's not a good reward for an alcoholic. Maybe you're doing a dry January and then you're gonna go pound a bottle of prosecco.
No. Well, that's the whole point. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm not an alcoholic. I just like cracking jokes about it.
While you're sitting here drinking vodka.
Shut up, Stu.
Potato juice vodka.
It's this much and it's disgusting, and I never want to do it again.
But you'll do
Till
it this next year.
Till next year, every year, and then it's enough. No.
Every year I usually try to pick a word that I focus on for that year. So
I like that.
And years like last year was courage. I put myself in courageous situations, and before that was like abundance. Like I focused a little bit more on our finances, and
This year's fire.
Huh. I was leaning more towards clarity, but
Well, fire does create clarity.
you're
It burns
right.
away all of the impurities.
Yes, and my car's name is Phoenix for that exact reason, is to rise up from the ashes.
A broken clock is right twice a day.
That's right. So,
Yeah, I'm thinking back on my like 2024 like little vision goals thing I did, and I think I probably accomplished 3 or 4 of the ones I set out to do, which was maybe about half or so.
I accomplished all mine. I'm still married to my husband, and I still love my kids. Just kidding. Sorry. I couldn't resist because I was thinking of the meme where they like
Better
high
hope
five.
he's not watching now.
Not watching. I'm just kidding. I was thinking of the meme where they like high. There's like a reel where the couple's like, we made it to the end of the year. We got $5 in the bank account. We still love each other. Yes. And they like high five, and I'm like, that's my goal. That's what we did. We still love each other. So I should just say that. I should have meant it and say I'm not so bad. I still love my husband and my children. And I made it through. I made it through election season. Like
that's right.
Like with all of that, like still, and he still loves me. I didn't drive him away and make him too crazy. So
after this whole depends on how long this shoulder.
depends on how my shoulders messed up.
Next episode. What happened to Nick? He got sick of me with my shoulder.
He realized how much stuff I did and decided that he didn't want to do part of it.
He was like, this is too much. This is too much. I don't want to do it anymore. Poor dude, man.
Do we want to circle back to politics?
Yeah. I think so.
Why?
Well, I got one more Broward topic to talk about.
Oh, okay. Go for it.
So we do have some municipals.
Oh, yeah. We should
In
talk about
March.
municipals.
I know it's different in Palm Beach County, but
Yes.
the qualifying period started today
So which cities are up?
Deerfield has 2 commission seats in the mayor's seat. Coconut Creek, I think, has 2 commission seats up.
Mm-hmm.
And there's probably at least one city in the southwest part of the county that we typically don't run any candidates for from the Republican Party. Like, I think Miramar might have a seat or it might have an election, but we historically haven't fielded any candidates.
Do we have any candidates in these?
We don't for Coconut Creek, as far as I know. Deerfield, there's quite a few candidates, especially the mayor's race because all 3 seats are open seats. All 3 seats,
that's when it
the
gets
incumbents
spicy.
have turned out. Yes, so there are currently 4 candidates.
In each race?
No, in the mayor's race.
Oh, that's a lot.
Yeah,
It's a 51, right?
yeah. There's no runoff.
Oh, there's no runoff.
There's no runoff.
Okay, so it's 50.
It's a majority.
Oh, it's a majority.
Or whoever gets the majority. Sorry.
Okay,
yeah.
so it's majority.
Yeah. Actually, the Pelican, which is the kind of the
Coastal Star
coastal
for the
star
south.
for the it's Northeast Broward really. I think it dividing it doesn't go down into Fort Lauderdale.
Okay.
So it's like Lauderdale by the sea and north. They did an article in today's paper, and I get it in the email version the night before, and it kind of summarized who the candidates are. So the current incumbent in District 4 commission seat, Todd Drosky, he's termed out. He's running for mayor.
Mm-hmm.
There's 3 other people currently running. Dan Hertz, who is a member of the Republican Party, and then Carl Berner, who I am not familiar with, and Chaz Stevens, who's definitely not a member of the Republican Party.
Definitely not.
Definitely not. And has lobbied municipalities in Broward and Palm Beach. I've heard Festivus poles to be put up at the city halls aside, next to like the Christmas and the Hanukkah decorations.
Heck are Festivus polls.
You don't know what the Festivus is?
Well, I know what the joke Festivus is. Is it like a real thing?
I mean,
Joke.
no.
Festivus is the airing of grievances.
Yeah. So,
But it's like a thing
it's
with
a
a
beer.
pole?
It's a beer can on top of a pole.
What?
That's the Festivus pole. It's like their decoration. His
Sorry,
big thing
any
is like
Festivus
his big thing
celebrators
is
out there?
separation of church and state, and so he feels like, yeah. So,
Oh,
anyways,
boy.
that's one of the candidates. So, so it'll be interesting to see, like, with 4 people, and qualifying period doesn't end till next.
And the election's in March.
Yeah.
That's a very short election cycle.
Yeah, that's how it is. I mean,
that's how it should be.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I can't imagine
This
running
like
for-
whole like year and a half, 2-year long election cycle situation. Sorry. So if you're a candidate out there and you want to file to run in 2025, don't call me. Next year. No, just kidding. I'm kidding. You can call me. We'll talk. But like it's a long election cycle, my friends.
Yeah.
Like it, and nothing happens for a majority of it unless you're a really good fundraiser.
Yeah.
You should be fundraising. And
Yeah.
if you're not fundraising, then you're not campaigning.
Right.
If you're thinking about running, you should be going to all of your community events.
Yes.
You
Yes.
should be going to all of your commission meetings or council,
Council
meetings.
meetings.
You should be knowing what local issues are and talking to people before you put your name in the hat.
And then once you do put your name in the hat, fundraise.
Yeah.
Fundraise
Yes.
because you will need every penny.
You should not run unless you have a campaign manager, a volunteer coordinator, and a fundraiser.
Yeah.
They can be the same person, but
They need to know that those are their duties.
right.
Yeah.
Those are 3 things that every candidate should have before they even think about putting in their qualification paperwork.
Yes.
And a treasurer.
And knowing what the job
I
title is.
would argue that having a treasurer in place before having the other ones in place is probably more important.
Yes,
probably
correct.
right.
Have a
Yeah.
treasurer in place and then start lining up the rest of those. And, but make those a goal to have.
As a CPA and as a former party treasurer, and as a former candidate, current elected former candidate, I was not the treasurer of my own campaign,
Yeah.
and I would advise any candidate
That's
not
right.
to be the treasurer of their own campaign.
Having been the deputy treasurer of my own campaign, I would also advise to not do it.
So back to Deerfield.
Yes,
so there's
sorry.
4 candidates in the mayor's race. District 3, which is like the Century Village district, there are 3 candidates. And in District 4,
All from Century Village.
2 of the 3 are from Century Village, and then one is from one of the communities along Green Road.
I don't know where that is.
Yeah, you don't.
That's
It's by
Wiles.
my office.
Oh, Wiles. Okay.
Wiles
Wiles
Green,
is
yeah.
Green Road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that I know.
Yeah, east of Power Line.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and then District 4, which is like, actually, we're probably sitting in District 4 right here.
Oh, okay.
So, like Deer Creek and Gates of Hillsborough, west of Power Line, all the way to the Turnpike. That's District 4. And there are 2 candidates currently running for District 4.
And when's qualifying end?
Probably next Wednesday or Thursday. It's usually a week. So it started today, and I think it probably runs till probably noon next Thursday.
Yeah, something like
Something
that.
like
That
that.
would make sense. Interesting.
So yeah, there's some BREC members running for.
good.
I think for all 3 seats, there's at least one BREC member. In
Good.
each,
Good
so
luck.
We'll
That's
see.
awesome.
In,
good.
in the mayor's race, there's 2.
That's
So we'll see what
Don't be
happens.
spicy. You're gonna
Yeah.
be watching those
With my popcorn.
with your popcorn. Yes, that's how I'm gonna go to all my REC meetings from now on. Is with my popcorn.
I know. If I would have been elected vice chair, I was going to get a popcorn machine to make sure we had one.
Actually, someone brought one to one of the BREC meetings once. There was a popcorn machine in the room.
That's
I
awesome.
feel like we should totally just bring bags of popcorn. Like, I'm not even kidding.
Like the big bags from
yeah, like I've
Publix
literally
you
that's
get?
no like a big like
Yeah,
not-
like the big plastic things.
we could do
bags
that
of-
or just
of
like a
Publix.
big bag of like Smart Pop.
Well,
or
it'll
the
be
Himalayan
interesting
pink salt.
because the mayor's race, there's 2 BREC members. We will probably have an endorsement vote at the end of this month in our meeting.
That's
Oh.
right.
So it'll be real interesting.
spicy.
Yeah, it'll be.
Or
You
are
want to take
they
a field
just
trip,
gonna-
Jessica?
Are they not going to say anything and just let them duke it out?
No, they will most definitely have an endorsement vote.
Really?
If I had to guess.
I think we
yeah.
should take a field trip.
Yeah.
That
Goes-
might be exciting.
Right?
We could be. Are guests allowed?
I don't know.
All right.
Maybe not.
It depends on if you're friends with the right people. I think.
Are we friends with the right people?
No, I don't think so.
I was just going to say.
You're
no,
friends
they're
with me.
Are we friends with people?
You're not friends with the right people either.
I have fallen out of favor.
We've all fallen out of
Me
favor.
too, Abby. Me too.
But you
I don't know.
what?
I'm just here
I'm
for the
telling
jokes.
I'm telling you, they're gonna miss me now that I'm gone.
Oh
You're
yeah.
gonna miss me.
You have no idea.
I love that song.
Me too. I love that
Such a great song. I want to say for the record, I really love my husband, and he's a saint. I just like to crack jokes.
We love Nick. He's
Yes.
the greatest.
Yes.
He's great. So
Shout
I
out-
just feel like I
shout
should
out to
probably put
Nick.
that out there. It's all said with jokes. I had a thought on our so we've kind of gone over a little bit in Palm Beach County. So what do we've got? We've got Boynton Beach and
I can run through.
yeah.
them really
Can you
quick.
run through them?
So we have Lake Worth. There's a commission seat, but and I think it's an NPA that's running for that. Lantana, Council Group 1. Some of these might have ended up unopposed, but Royal Palm Beach. Steve Avelia, who was a guest on our
Yeah,
show,
shout out.
Shout out to
running,
Steve.
is running for a council seat. He ran for mayor last time and lost, but
Did the mayor die?
he passed away. Yes,
Yeah.
so that is going to election. And Selena Samos, if I'm saying that wrong, I apologize. Is currently on the council and she's running for mayor. I don't know if anybody's running against her, but and then Steve Avelia is running for the council seat. Palm Beach County. There are 2 Republicans running in Group 2.
For which one? Palm Beach
oh,
what?
Gardens.
Palm Beach Gardens. And then Group 4. So Group 2 and Group 4 is up for election. You have Jupiter. You have the mayor.
Malise? Or is it Jupiter Township?
This just says Jupiter. So I would assume maybe the city of Jupiter.
Okay.
So the mayor, the mayor is up. District, the first district council is up, and for the second district council seat is up as well. So they have 3 seats open there. Boynton Beach mayor and seat 3 is up.
Just those 2?
I thought there was another
I thought
seat.
there was another. No, there is. Hold on. Stand by.
I think there's one more seat for Boynton.
Just look
I think it's mayor seat 3 and one other one.
Commission 1.
Okay.
So commission, so mayor at
Mayor.
large, commission from District 1 and commission from District 3.
Right. And the current mayor termed out, so that's an open seat. Loxahatchee Groves, seat 4. There are 5 people running for the council
Whoa.
seat. 4 are Republicans.
Wait, I have
and 1 is an MPA, so there's 5 people running.
Oh, sorry, I'm getting ahead of you there. The Riviera Beach, that article I sent you guys
Which one?
about Riviera Beach.
Oh, yes.
all
yes.
the ballot, all
Yes.
those candidates were thrown out because
Yes.
they pay their filing fee with a debit card.
With a debit card
right.
instead of a campaign check.
Oh
This is the importance about before running.
Having a
like,
campaign treasurer that knows
Yes.
the rules. And
Yes.
the candidate handbook.
Read the candidate handbook and the finance
Like
laws.
first of all,
They
you
pay
should
with a
read the,
debit
even if you have a treasurer, you should still read the candidate handbook.
Yes.
You
yes.
should know when
Because
your
at the end
qualifying
of the
dates are.
day-
You should know the requirements for qualifying. You shouldn't rely on just the campaign manager or just a volunteer coordinator or just someone else. You are the candidate. The buck stops with you.
Yep.
That's right. That's right. You say it. Susie.
Amen, Josie.
Anyway, Riviera Beach, I guess Council District 1 is the seat that's up. There's an MPA running against 2 Democrats. I
Let
don't
me
think
pull
there's
up
a
that
Republican.
thing again to see who that was for.
Palm Beach Gardens, Group 2 is up, and Group 4. Jupiter Inlet, there are 3 incumbents. They were all unopposed, so I guess they get to keep their seats. So that's the information that I have for Palm Beach County.
All right. So elections are March 11th.
Yep.
And if you
Vote by
have
mails go out.
February.
if you have not renewed your vote
Oh,
by
that reminds
mail,
me, I gotta
you
re-up
need
mine.
to do that. If you are planning to have a vote by mail this election cycle in March for your municipal election, then you need to submit your re-request. And make sure when you're doing it that you click the box. There should be a box that says for all elections in this cycle, and that will take you through the 2026 election cycle. If in that way you'll get ballots. If there's a special election in your district, you'll get your ballot mailed to you, all of that stuff. So make sure if you're planning to do that, which we recommend because we're still in that game. Yes, we would all love to have 1 day, 1 vote, paper ballots for sure, but we're not there yet.
That's
So that we gotta
not
play-
the-
So what
That's
happens?
not what we
okay,
live
let's.
in.
So if you do that, and then they go to 1 ballot, then it's just
What?
Right.
What's the question?
if you
That's a silly
if you request your ballot and
Mhm.
then they go to 1 day, 1 ballot, and then that mail-in ballot just goes away.
Well,
right?
if it's just 1 day, 1 vote,
Then they won't mail out the
But-
ballots, and we'll save ourselves hundreds of millions of dollars.
I'm just asking.
What's your point, Vanessa?
I'm just asking. I'm just saying that because there might be people out there that doesn't think that they'll still get their mail-in ballot even though it's 1 day.
No.
No.
If they switch to that, then they will not mail out the ballots. But if you want to make sure that you get your ballot, there's a box you can check when you go to the SOE that will do for the whole cycle.
I do. Some of the municipalities may not have early voting, though. Is that
None of
correct?
them will.
None of them will
them.
because there's nothing.
They only if it's a state
Only
level
if there's a state level
election on the ballot. So, in theory, none of them will. But again, because of all the appointments that Trump is doing that triggered the trickle down effect, if there is something, there could be something tied to a municipal.
I think it's too late for them to be
Yeah.
tied now.
Is it
Yeah.
March?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
you're right.
like he had to call the election for District 1.
Yeah,
The primaries
You're right.
in
Never
January.
mind. Strike that. I'm living in a bubble. I don't know what day it is. We always, in the last week of the year in our house, when anyone asks what day it is, we just go, it's day.
It's
Day. I had
I
to be
saw-
I had to be at synagogue on Saturday at 8:30. I knew that, and I had to get a party pulled together for the first. Other than that, I have no idea what day it is, what what's happening. So it's just day. So I don't know where I'm at.
I thought yesterday was Sunday. It wasn't.
No, it's not. I almost forgot about today. I remembered at like 10 o'clock this morning. I was like, oh, and I texted my husband, like, just a reminder, that is tonight, because tonight's the 2nd, because today's
Yeah.
Thursday.
Mhm.
Thursday.
Yeah, all day today at work too. We were all saying it seems like it was like we thought it was Monday.
It's going to
Yeah,
be the shortest
yeah,
week
yeah.
ever.
None of the meetings happened.
me
so it
and
was like,
my
okay,
coworkers
it's
were
not
like,
Monday.
like, oh, I told you on Friday. I mean, I told you on Tuesday.
Right.
Whatever day. I don't know. Anyway, so strike that, what I just said. But get your vote by mail ballot if you want to have your vote by mail ballot.
Well, it's
Yes.
just a good reminder. Like they come in the mail whenever there's an election
Yeah,
coming up,
that's
so
what
it kind
I'm
of
saying.
notifies you that there's an election
So if
coming
you
up.
do have there is a special election that maybe you don't find out about or something. That's kind of my whole point. So even
Yeah.
if it's not
You
tied
don't
to this
have to
March
pay
election,
attention as much. You just do the vote by
listen,
mail
isn't
request,
that what we all want, right?
and then it's easy peasy. It comes to you. It's so convenient.
And then you just go eeny, meeny, miny, mo, and pick your favorite.
no, Josie, we
Oh,
don't
we don't do that. Oh, we don't do that. Okay.
Can you
That's-
Christmas tree like on a Scantron?
I have done that. No,
I'm gonna go for all the ones that start with the letter A first.
this name is pretty. Oh, that's the name of my ex-boyfriend. Nope. I have picked my what's it called when you've done March Madness before, based off of the people I know who live in that state. So I'm like, oh, I know someone who lives there, and I like them. I'll pick that team. This person I live there. Nope, don't like that team.
So Stu and I have been doing college bowl game picks, and I've actually been doing very well.
Yes,
Did
she
you guys
has.
watch the Pop-Tarts Bowl?
No, I didn't.
Oh
watch
my
it.
gosh.
I don't even know what that is.
So the Pop-Tarts Bowl started like
Last
Pop-Tarts
year.
took over as sponsor for it's a bowl game in
Yeah.
Orlando.
Mhm.
It might be the old Capital One Bowl.
I think so. I think
Oh,
so.
yeah, you might be right.
So last year they introduced the Pop-Tarts as the mascots.
They're actual Pop-Tarts?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So strawberry frosted Pop-Tart was like the big thing last year. And I mean, whoever was the mascot was like totally into it and like just out on the field, whatever. Well, at the end of the game, the Pop-Tart went up on top of the toaster and went down in the toaster, and then out popped the celebration cake, which was a Pop-Tart. And it was like, oh my gosh.
That's
They
not
s-
family friendly.
And like the players dug into the cake so that like only like the one eye, and then it was all like the strawberry, like the red strawberry. Well, I'm like, what am I watching? It's cannibalism. But like their marketing team was brilliant because everybody was talking about that bowl game on X and everything. Well, the bowl game comes around this year, and of course, Strawberry wasn't there because Strawberry sacrificed himself to the
It was
toaster last year.
cinnamon this year. wasn't it?
There was three. There was
This is fascinating.
there was blueberry.
Okay.
There was like a blueberry one or blue raspberry. I don't know. Then cinnamon roll, and
Cinnamon
then
roll.
like hot fudge sundae or something
Yeah,
like
something
that. So
like
there was
that.
three, and like cinnamon roll came out. You know how Pop Tarts come in the little foil? He comes out with the silver foil, and then he like tears it. It was like a wrestler, you know, like
They call like Hulk Hogan with the Trump.
Trump mania!
So I wasn't watching the
Sorry.
game live, but like I got invested when my dad was flipping the channels, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, it's the Pop Tarts Bowl!" So I went back and looked at the videos and the stuff people were posting on Twitter, and so before the game started, they're like, "And now everybody, if you'll direct your view up to the jumbotron at the top of the stadium." Strawberry Pop-Tart was there.
Like risen from the dead?
So like the Pop-Tart Bowl like Twitter account said he is risen. I'm like, that's blasphemous.
It is.
But it was like hilarious.
And it was, wasn't it,
Oh my
wasn't it like the
god.
day before Christmas or the day after Christmas? or something like that?
it was Saturday night after
Oh,
Christmas.
Saturday night, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Well,
I
at
was
least it
out.
wasn't during Easter.
Because that was Miami was in that one, right?
Yeah, they lost
And
by
they ended
one
up
point.
losing at the end of the game.
Yeah, they lost. Yeah.
Oh my
So
gosh.
was it some middle? It was some team in the middle of the country.
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember. But
Oh,
my
that's
gosh,
so
just like
funny.
just the memes and everything that come out of that bowl game, like they just bring so much joy. They just bring like their marketing team is brilliant, and I love it. I just love it. I'm like I was trying to explain to my parents quickly, like, oh my gosh, you don't remember this last year? Like, no, because my dad watches the bowl games.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
he's
like
a
the
sports
getting
fan.
into the whole like thing.
Yeah.
Iowa State.
Ah, that's right, the Cyclones.
Oh,
I
Iowa.
picked side.
Yeah. You picked the Cyclones?
Yes, she did because she
Wow.
thought it was Iowa.
No.
Oh.
Well,
At
it-
first. I mean,
But
she-
even
Yeah.
so, I mean, like
The
I was
Hawkeyes?
expecting.
Yes,
Yeah.
the
My
Hawkeyes.
husband's
yes.
family are all Hawkeyes.
Yep. My dad, my mom,
All Hawkeyes.
Hawkeyes.
Yeah, I don't
And
know. I don't follow
Spartans.
college football. I'm like, ooh, owls.
They fired their coach this year.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
But
I
maybe
believe
that's gonna be
they
one of
did,
the things
yeah.
I get more invested in this coming year if I'm taking a little breather from
Yeah,
all
there you
the
go.
political
Yeah.
history and
Yes,
football.
I will say
College
Jessica's been doing very well in her picking.
Yeah.
And my bowl picks.
And
I've
your
been
bowl
doing
picks.
well. I pay
So
attention.
do you want to
Yeah. So
say anything, Apps, before
Yeah,
we close it up?
I just want to say, like, this is going to be my last regular, like ongoing, like every episode. Like, this is my final one. That's not to say I won't be back. I'll be back whenever you guys want to have me on, talk about Broward.
Every time. I'm just kidding.
I can't commit to that.
Every
You know,
time.
like, I mean, there's been an internal struggle inside of me. I love doing this, and it's so much fun. But sometimes you have to say no to say yes to better things, and you know now.
What's better than this?
Yeah,
Well,
right? Excuse us.
I know, but I'm serving the city of Lighthouse Point
Yes.
now.
Yes.
No, we understand.
And like there was just some things at the end of 2024 that like naturally needed to come to a close, like being the treasurer of Breck.
You're like, yes.
and to a lesser extent, like not that I want to walk away from this because I love talking shop with you guys every other week, you know. But at the same time, you know, there's a downside to it, and I have to be careful to walk that line carefully. And
Yeah.
I never want to do anything to, you know, disrespect my city or the residents that live in it. And I'm sure people have noticed I don't talk a whole lot about like what the goings on. Obviously, there's sunshine ramifications, but anyways, all that to say, you know, like there's a lot going on in 2025. I'll be back to discuss some of it.
Yeah.
And you know,
please.
it's been fun, and hopefully, you know, the three of us have educated some of our fellow Palm Beach and Broward County
That's right.
residents.
We hope so.
And I
And
hope
entertained.
yes, I hope that people keep coming back and telling their friends about the show and just everything that we're doing here. That you guys will continue to do, have the guests on, have the candidates on. You know,
You're
because
going
I
to
think
send us good guests, right? Because Abby's brought a lot of great guests onto this show. So we might need to use her for booking.
yes, yeah. And if you need a Sherpa, a candidate Sherpa, a guest Sherpa to come, a hand holder. I'm a
Yes.
very good hand holder.
Yes. You never know.
But you know, we fill a void. I think there is a void of people talking local politics, and it's important. I mean,
Yes.
you know, we're coming up on the 5-year anniversary of the COVID debacle, and I think for a lot of us, it just opened our eyes to how important local politics are. And so we need to stay tuned. You know, stay attuned to it. I mean, I can't help it because I'm involved in it now.
You're in it.
I'm
You're
in
not
it.
leaving it. You're just leaving us.
Not completely.
I know. I'm just like
I'm right
giving her
down the
I'm
street.
just giving her a hard time.
But no, I want this to continue. I want you guys to continue, and I will be supporting you behind the scenes, and I'll be back on. So
We miss you, Abby. It's been a pleasure.
yeah,
Mhm.
Yes,
So much
this
fun.
has been so much fun.
It's
doing this with
been
you.
it's just been great. I love it. So thank you very much. Abby's done a lot of the behind the scenes work,
Yes.
which now we're gonna
Mhm.
have to figure out how to
Yeah.
maybe
Oh,
maybe
wait.
Nick wants to take on a bigger role.
maybe Nick is gonna come in and help more. Maybe let's see if I can get through this shoulder situation first before I ask him for more things.
She loves you, Nick. She
I
really
love
does
you,
love
Nick.
you.
Really do. But yeah, Abby does a lot of behind the scenes. She takes care of a lot of our socials and a lot of our
Mediocre.
stuff.
Mediocrely.
So mediocrely. What is it?
Right.
Half-assed.
You got half-assed. There we go.
There you go.
You're supposed to have that ready, Stu.
Oh,
He's out of practice.
Spicy tonight. I know we've been really good. We've had a lot of.
Abby swearing is just an anomaly.
I know. I don't know what to do with this.
oh, what?
Be like if she started drinking from my water bottle.
Vodka.
Just kidding. Oh my gosh, it really is just water.
Vodka.
Shut up, Stu.
We're gonna have to definitely share this episode if anybody wants to laugh, because I think that's
Yeah,
all
but
we've
not
done,
if any of us
so.
ever want to run for real office. And by that I mean me. No, I'm kidding. Oh my gosh, this has been a nice stress relief. I'm not kidding about. It's been a lot of fun. So thank you, Abby, for all of the work that
Yes.
you've put
Yes.
into making this
and,
podcast
and like I
so
said,
awesome.
you guys will see me again
Yes, we will.
throughout the year, probably.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So, as far as the future of the podcast goes, we are gonna continue rocking and rolling. Jessica and I are gonna decide how we want to navigate it, and we definitely would love to hear from you if there's topics or guests that you would like us to have on or discuss over this coming next few months. Please let us know if you'd like to support us to help us keep the lights on. We do rent the studio space that we use, so any funding that comes in does go directly to just basically keeping us in here and not on our computers. I mean, we could do it from our computers, but it's not a pretty look.
It's not the same.
It's not the same,
Yeah,
and it's not.
it's
It's
not
not
the
so pretty. It's very like uncomfortably camera angles and the whole thing. So nobody needs that. So yeah, that's
Blurred backgrounds.
blurred
and cut
backgrounds,
off heads
Zoom like twitching, and then like, what was that? What was
Like-
that? You're frozen. You're frozen.
Who was that back
You muted your mic.
back in the 80s? Max Headroom?
I'm here. I'm live. I'm not a cat. I'd explain that to one of my managers today. He wasn't familiar.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so that's all I got for tonight. I'll see you guys next time.
But
Yes, thank you. We're very interested, very excited to continue, and we wish Abby well in all of her future endeavors. And she definitely will be back, and she's definitely will remain a co-host when she is here. So be sure to follow us on Instagram at We the Locals FL. You can follow us on X at We the Locals FL, Facebook We the Locals. You can check us out online on our website at WeTheLocalsPodcast.com. You can check the links for our podcast episodes all the way back to the beginning on our website. If you want to email us any questions, concerns, want to sponsor our show, want anything else that we can maybe assist you with, you can email us at WeTheLocalsFL@gmail.com.
Yes.
Have a great night, everybody, and be sure to stay local.
Bye.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.